What's up, everybody? It's your favorite show, Get a Bucket. I'm your host, Trey, and as usual, hope you're all having a wonderful, wonderful day. And as you can see, we got my guys on the screen, Nick, Mark, Byron. Fellas, what's up with y'all? But we're going to start in order, though, because I know how when I say that, it typically get a little tricky. Nick, what's good with you, man? How's everything?
Everything's going good. Thank you for having me, brother.
I
How's it
appreciate you
going?
coming back on the show, bro. I appreciate you
Yeah,
coming
of
back on
course,
the
of
show.
course.
Mark, everything good with you down there in Tampa?
Oh man, I'm up here in Rhode Island, bro. This is the first sunny day we had in I don't know how long, so it's a blessing. I'm glad to be here.
My fault. See, I had seen the sun in the background, and I thought Tampa. When I'm thinking Rhode Island, I'm thinking it's going to be a little cold, a little gloomy. That's
Bro,
my bad. I got to go up and visit. Like you said. My fault. My fault.
I got
Byron,
you,
how's
bro. I
everything?
got you.
Byron, how's everything on your end? You on mute. You on mute. You on mute.
Oh, my fault. Yeah, man. Everything is going good, man. Life is going good. Work is going good. So I'm blessed, man. Appreciate you having me.
Appreciate you. Well, look, fellas, we just gonna get right on into it, right? It's called Get a Bucket, but we do talk a little other sports on here. So, with all that being said, y'all know we gonna talk about the Super Bowl predictions, right? Now, I would be a little remiss if I didn't bring my boys out here one time for the one time because we ain't getting no love this year in the Super Bowl. Not a lick, not the playoffs, nothing. Not even the conference championship if we had it. I just wanted to show some love. But Chiefs, 49ers. Nick, let's start with you. Who do you feel like is going to win the Super Bowl?
I mean, history repeats itself, right? I mean, humans are not as complicated as everybody makes them out to be, and we're seeing already a resurgence of perhaps the greatest quarterback talent that we've ever seen, right? Like just in terms of the way he plays, the way like that conference championship game. I can't hold you. I mean, the Ravens, I don't know what was going on with their offense, but like usual, Patty did just enough to get himself in a position to win, right? How many teams have there been that within 5 years they've won 3 Super Bowls? The Steelers of the 70s, the Cowboys of the 90s, the Patriots did it twice with Tom Brady, right? Only those 4 teams. Now we have a team here who, again, in 5 years has been to the big game 4 times. I mean, they know the recipe. So I mean, it's hard for me to say that they're not the incumbent and that they're not going to be the ones who might come out on top, given Pat Mahomes feeling comfortable now in that game. You know what I mean? He's used to it. Brock Purdy though, Mr. Irrelevant, first ever Super Bowl. Maybe the stage might be too big for him, and we don't know that. Whereas we know it's not too big for Patrick Mahomes. That's all.
That's fair. That's fair. Patty's been there. You know what I'm saying? Brock, you got something to prove, but I think it's fairly fair to say he's had a pretty good season. You know what I mean? I also would just like to throw out there. Well, actually, no, I'm gonna save that because Byron, you got some interesting things to talk about with this here Super Bowl. Mark, I know you said you were on the fence with this, right? So
Yeah.
after hearing Nick's spiel, and I'm sure the brother got a lot more to say too, but he gave the high level version. Does that sway you any? You know what I'm saying? Like, does that put you on Team Patty or you got Team 49ers?
So for me, man, I'm just gonna sit on the fence and sit this one out. I mean, I don't want to bet against Mahomes, as my man said. I mean, history proves itself. However, the 49ers is a well-oiled machine. I mean, especially on that defense. And defense wins games. I mean, we've seen, Super Bowls past where you could have an aging or aging middling quarterback or a quarterback that may not, be able to open up the full offense yet and still win the big game if they're buoyed by that defense. And I'm a firm believer of it, man. So I think I have to sit on the fence just because that defense. I mean, Mahomes has shown that he can figure out the puzzle, but the 49ers might have too many pieces on defense on top of having that many offensive weapons that Brock Purdy kind of can just sit back, and just, let it play itself out. So that's I'll just stay on the fence, man, until otherwise.
Okay. So you still staying on the fence. Okay. I I halfway want to say the 49ers because I said they was going to the Super Bowl last year. They let me down, but they was also injured. They're healthy. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's tough. Like you were saying, Mark, they're a well-oiled machine. But sometimes you need a little luck, right? Sometimes you need a little luck to win a Super Bowl, to win a championship. Byron, I know you were talking about the Super Bowl and sports really in general. What's your thoughts on the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with I'm gonna have to go with my man King Shark, man. I think I'm on the fence with it, truth be told. Like I said, I think pro sports is rigged in a way. And people always hit me with the conspiracy theories on this and that and the third, but there's twofold, right? I think from the marketing aspect for the Chiefs, especially with all this Taylor Swift stuff going on, and there's different things in regards to the number 13 or album 13 and 49ers 13, and the game is on 13th and all this other stuff, or whatever it is, kind of going on. So people have the conspiracy theories that, oh, okay, the Chiefs will win because it's a marketing thing with Taylor Swift and the Chiefs and everything like that, right? And then you have the Mahomes, just like Nick said, with creating a new story to the history, in itself, with 5 teams able to win, championships, within a 5-year period 3 times, right? The Chiefs, if they win this one, will be the 15th to do so, right? So you have that narrative, but then you have the other narrative as well, right? You have the Kyle Shanahan narrative with him and his descendants, if you will, Sean McVay and others win the Super Bowl, right? Being able to him himself and able to win a Super Bowl, others who have worked underneath him, whether it be LaFleur, whether it be McVay, right? Being able to win a Super Bowl, right? And then you have the Brock Purdy narrative, right? You have someone who was a 6th, 7th round pick, who was third string on the roster, similar to Tom Brady. When Tom Brady first won the Super Bowl, he was their third string, and then eventually became the first string, and then won Super Bowl, right? So you have that narrative of the underdog, right? Someone who's able to overcome in spite of, right? That Patriots team had a great defense, right?
I mean,
When they
you hearing
won
a
that
lot
Super
of
Bowl.
Brady narrative.
I
Sound
I
like you
I,
trying
I
to. It
think
sound like you trying to go for Brock Purdy right now, my boy. Like
I mean
we
I
bringing
mean
C. Hey, look, we bringing my Panthers relevant right now because CMC's on that team. We appreciate
yeah,
you,
yeah.
buddy.
Hey, listen, I mean, truthfully, I think the 49ers are going to win. I think offense wins games, defense wins championships. Now,
You say that.
the Chiefs actually have a great defense this year, in regards to their pass percentage, third down percentage, things like that. But I think the defensive front with Bosa and Young, and I think other players, and things like that on the 49ers, I think is diddly. And then you factor in the weapons that the 49ers have, right? You got Debo, but they also have McCaffrey, right? I think the 49ers win McCaffrey's MVP because I
You
feel
think
like
McCaffrey's MVP?
I think he will
All
be,
right.
because
But
I think he'll control, if the 49ers win, I
uh,
think he'll be able to win one-on-one from the slot. I think he'll be
right.
able to, break through long runs. So
Mhm.
I think McCaffrey is the X factor
Okay.
offensively for if they win. So I think, like
Okay.
I said,
Hold on.
if I had to choose,
Hold on.
49ers.
Okay, so you got 49ers. So it sounds like this brother done talked himself off the fence, Mark, and to go into the 49ers. So I'm gonna ask you now: are you still on the fence, or
You, me?
yeah?
Bro, I'm still just gonna sit on the fence. I mean, I think it comes down to execution too, man. Like, you got Andy Reid and that man, that quarterback and head coach duo, man. That's lightning and brimstone right there. And then the defense has shown the ability to make big stops. So if they can eliminate that horizontal. Personally, I'm not a fan of the horizontal passing game, even
Mhm,
though the 49ers, they run it Hall of Fame level. But if
mhm.
they can rein that horizontal passing game in, I think it'll give Pat Mahomes a chance to do what Pat Mahomes does. So I'm gonna sit on the fence because I'm not Nostradamus. I wouldn't bet on this game. So yeah, that's how I'm gonna play it.
Okay, okay, I feel that. I feel that.
You watch people play basketball all the time, right? Do you have the heart to try and get a bucket? It's not as easy as you may think by yourself. Hence Walt. your basketball training guru. He can help take your game to the next level. Making that jump shot won't be as hard as you think it is. All it takes is to contact Walt and be prepared to put in the effort. If you do, you can also learn to shoot and potentially dominate just like the pros. No matter gender, race, identity, or basketball skill level, Walt will help make sure your game is on a new level.
Nick, I got to circle, so we got to spin the block right quick because you started off strong with Patty Mahomes. You gave us the high level version. Byron snuck in a little bit deep level. What you got for us then? Like, are you shaking real quick? Are you going to the 49ers? You know what I'm saying? Or are you going to stick with Patty?
No, I'm going to stick with Patty. The story is too good. I'm one of those people that is always going to, we forget that the NFL is a business. It's a business. So they're just trying to sell stuff, you know what I'm saying? And we just got to be honest about that. We can enjoy the sport, we can love it, but it's a business at the end of the day. It's a money-making machine. And I think that the NFL would benefit and profit more from the Chiefs winning right now, given the as Byron was saying, the Taylor Swift narrative, the Tom Brady adjacent narrative. I think that it just leads itself to being the perfect combination. Also the amount of money these Kelsey brothers are bringing in, for the NFL.
Facts.
Jason and Travis, I think, were the two of the top 10 jerseys sold this year. So I think that's something that you got to think about. Their podcasts and everything, and what that does for the NFL too.
It's all aligning. It's all aligning for the Chiefs in that regard. I can see that.
Yeah.
I also look at it's just tough to say, man. I'm betting on the 49ers, and I'm betting for this reason. They got to try to make somebody a nemesis for Patrick Mahomes. And like y'all brought up Tom Brady, right? 6th rounder. Someone called Brock Purdy a 6th, 7th rounder. He's called Mr. Irrelevant. You're on a really good team. We also got to talk about the Shanahan situation. If I'm not mistaken, him against Andy Reid, if he were to win, he'd be 1-3. Byron, you talked about 13. You know what I'm talking about? Like, there's a narrative for the 49ers, too. The 49ers, 4-9. 4 plus 9, 13. You feel me? So I'm just saying, we also got what else? Brock Purdy's number, 13. So there's a narrative to be spun for the 49ers. So when you're talking about it's a business, I do hear that. And if we want to make the NFL a little bit more competitive optics-wise, I think Brock Purdy and the 49ers win. I'm sorry, Christian McCaffrey and the 49ers win. It's just Brock Purdy's number was 13. But I do hear you two on Patrick Mahomes. It's tough to bet against this man. I just do think there is a solid chance that these 49ers win it. And like y'all pointed out too, there's a solid consolation prize if Patrick Mahomes loses, if the Chiefs lose. Well, you got Taylor Swift. You got all this stuff that happened this season. And y'all got here when people weren't expecting you to. So imagine if y'all can tweak the offense a little bit more. Or if the offense improves wide receiver wise. I don't know. That's how I'm looking at it. But like what Mark said earlier, you can't really bet against Patty Mahomes to us. It is a little tough. Like, if we're gonna really believe in script writers, they do want this man to be the next GOAT. Like, I do think that's fair to say. So,
and I'll tell you this: in his second season, Tom Brady, Mr. Irrelevant in his own right, taking over for the starter and Drew Bledsoe, who everybody thought was going to be the guy, right? Yeah. Comes in and beats a 2-time MVP in Kurt Warner in his first Super Bowl in his second year. So just to also play a little devil's advocate for good old Brock Purdy.
It still comes to the X's and O's though, man. At a certain I get some of this, with the script writing or whatnot, but it still come down to the X's and the O's.
So Mark, let me ask you this then. Who do you believe is the better coach? Reid or Shanahan? Okay. Is Shanahan at least arm's length away from Reid for you? Like, can he? No, not at all. Because hear me out. I've been hearing Shanahan as a guru. You know what I'm saying? So like, I got to think that's a solid matchup for Andy Reid, who Andy Reid could be considered as the best coach in NFL today.
So I'm not saying that he's far away from him at all. I mean, I'm saying what he has is his offense is prescriptive for his personnel, like literally tailor made. I caught the pun there, but if someone else were to come in and try to run that offense or something like that, I don't think you would get the same results. So what I'm saying is Andy Reid is a quarterback whisperer, and the most important position in the game of football is quarterback.
Okay, okay, okay. And I see a lot of shaking y'all heads. So I'm about to say, was there anything else y'all wanted to add to that, or?
I mean, I would say this, like, I think everybody has a solid point. I think it does come down to the X's and O's to a certain
Mm,
degree. But
mm,
just like Nick said, right, it's an entertainment industry. And I think people fail to realize the entertainment aspect of stories, right? Because that is what continues your brand. That's what continues the narrative and gets watchers, and viewers to tune in, if you will, right?
mm,
And some people, just how the Patriots were, are annoyed to see the Chiefs every single year and see Mahomes winning, right? And so for me, I think Mahomes is definitely one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time already. I mean, you can't knock his success, especially early on in his career.
Mhm.
You can't knock it. But also, I'm not gonna discredit the underdog and how America likes to portray the underdog in itself, right? They really have driven that narrative since really the beginning of sports in itself, right? There's always the underdog story. It's always something. It's always a David and Goliath that they like to say, if you will.
Mhm.
And I think the biggest thing is having a quarterback who is Mr. Irrelevant, come in, can't just take his team to a Super Bowl and do just enough to win, right? And I think that's another narrative in itself as well, right? It's pushing that agenda, and it gives Mahomes a cross country rivalry, if you will, of
mm,
okay, you lost to one quarterback who was drafted in the sixth, seventh round. Now you lost to another one, right? Somebody who is not the most talented, doesn't have the most talent that you do, but always does things the right way. And I think that's Purdy's persona, if you will, is he's not going to do anything astronomical, but he's going to do things the right way. And that's who Brady was early in his career. He wasn't a gunslinger. He wasn't dropping 50 touchdowns,
Mhm.
and 2000 and was it 2007, 25 the most, right? He wasn't doing that early in his career. He did that once he finally understood the groove and the flow of the NFL. I'm not saying that's what Purdy's going to be, but also people can preach that narrative, and that's why I would say, like, I'm not a I'm not a betting man no more, so I wouldn't bet on this game just because I think there's two narratives, and it's which one is the strongest. X's and O's
mm.
matter, but like I said, for me, I think it's all about the script. What story is going to sell the longest and make the most money? That's how I look
Okay,
at it.
okay, okay. Um, I think it's a combination of both. Because like if you look at like if I'm talking about basketball, certain people, certain teams should win, right? But the narratives, you can't overlook those two. It's like it's too much of a coincidence. So I feel it on that. But um, I shoot, I was about to say Byron might be gone. About to say, ladies and gentlemen, he does have a kid, so he might have to dip. So we do apologize for that. Let me go ahead see if he comes back. Was you back with us? You good?
Yeah, I'm good. She's still asleep. Yeah, she's still asleep, so
Okay.
we're good.
And I was about to say, we just gonna recap. So Nick, you're still with the Chiefs. All right, I gave you an opportunity to switch over, brother.
You really
Um,
did, but I like my position.
I can't
Um,
be bad at you. I can't be bad at you.
Look,
All right.
typically when I come over here, I'm real technical. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just doing high level today. But let me throw in some technical aspects to it. Joe Tooney's out, right? All pro guard, not playing in the Super Bowl for the Chiefs. You know, 49ers have one of the best pass rush teams in football. That might be something. You know what I'm
And
saying?
also, and not to interrupt, the last time that Mahomes lost Super Bowl was what? his left tackle and his right tackle were both hurt against Tampa Bay.
Mm.
And Mahomes did everything he could and couldn't overcome. Mahomes was playing phenomenal. He was throwing passes off his back foot when he was fake, when he almost touched the ground to like a 30, 40-yard bomb in the middle of the field, people dropping catches. I don't know, man. Everything is shaping up in a way in which is like it's a I don't know, man.
I mean, Nick did say
I don't
earlier
know.
history
I don't
repeats
know.
itself. So I mean, we're gonna have to see. Mark, you last chance, man. You still on the fence, man? I'm just saying. We've heard a lot of stuff about these 49ers. So I mean, you could switch over.
I'm gonna sit on the fence, man. I just I'm gonna eat my appetizers and I'm gonna sit on the fence, man. That's just the best way to do it. It's the best call. It's the safest bet. I mean, like I said, this is gonna be a high stakes clash. I'm looking forward to seeing it. But and I'm a betting man, and I'm pretty good at it. I wouldn't bet on this one.
Okay. I feel that. No, I feel that. Like you said earlier, you can't really bet on Patty, or you can't bet against Patty. So I feel that.
Sports is one of the few things that genuinely connects us together. Whether with coworkers, friends, family, we all love the entertainment. Well, here on Get a Bucket, my goal is to talk about sports and its cultural impact. The WNBA, for example. The WNBA is loads of entertainment, from the new rookies battling, displaying their skill sets, and preparing to take the league by storm, to the titans and the MVPs of the league clashing for battles we'll always remember. From imagining the soon-to-be possibilities, to admiring and treasuring the finales. Get a Bucket is a platform where other sports analysts, hoopers, coaches, and fans of the show come and talk about the WNBA, both negatives and positives. So if you haven't, take a quick peek. At the very least, you'll have a good time. Remember, sports is one of the few things that genuinely connects us together. So please, tune in and stay connected.
But yeah, fellas, I mean, we're gonna have to close up shop here. I think Byron had to dip again, but Nick, do you got anything you want to say before we close up shop? Wait, hold on. Yep. Do you have anything you want to say before we close up shop?
Yeah, no problem. I'll just say this. I think the childlike wonder you had the first time you watched a football game is one of the most beautiful things in the world to me.
Mhm.
It was most of my relationship with my father. I mean, at the end of the day, you we want to believe that it's not a business and that it is something that can change and we can have miracles. So, in a lot of ways, I hope I'm wrong. You know what I mean? Because I know so much about this sport that it's like I really want to be proven wrong. Like I want to be wrong. What my gut tells me. You know what I mean? So like I'm going with the Chiefs, but I want to be wrong.
I feel
Let's end
that.
with that.
I feel that. I just try. I'm gonna try to say this quickly. I've been told that sports is fake to the point where even in basketball, there's magnets in the basketball in the rim, right? So they guide which shots go in and which don't. Like it's like that. If I heard that, my little heart would just break. Like I would be crushed, bro. Like what? Like so, what have we been watching for then? Like what have we been caring about? Putting all this effort and energy into this? Oh my God, yes, I'm right. I'm right there with you, Nick. Mark, what you guys say before we close up shop?
Yeah, I mean, I get that, the business side of it, but I can't jump down the rabbit hole with you guys. I mean, if you think about it with the business aspect, Cowboys, we would have more than 5 Super Bowls. I mean, with Jerry Jones, I mean, that's one of the most influential figures in the NFL and has been so for quite a long time, and he has big bread. So, I mean, if it really came down to the big bread about it, my boys wouldn't disappoint me every year, and I would not have all this gray hair.
I don't know, because that could be a storyline in itself. Like it could be similar to the Knicks. We were talking about the Knicks, and management does kind of mess up things. So I mean, everybody, even the Cowboys fans, point to Jerry Jones as a terrible owner. He's just not selling the team. So I mean, folks look at Dolan as a shaky owner. He's just not selling the team. Like maybe that works out too. Because I ain't gonna lie, every year I think you get more joy as a unit. When I say unit, I mean the world of the Cowboys not winning than you would of them winning. Like, I would be sick for a solid 2 days just because I know Cowboys fans are going to be talking trash. Like,
And
that's like
honestly, you act like, but he also acts like the Cowboys don't have, like, Jerry Jones still has 3. You know what I'm saying? Just not lately.
yeah.
It's a real
And
what have
because
you done
like
for me lately?
because you're talking to somebody like respectfully, both of y'all at least got multiple. I got none. I've been twice. Like, you know what I'm saying? I've been twice. It's cool, I guess. So I can't. I would love to give you some sympathy. I really would. I just, Mark, I can't, though. I really can't. But I do, on that being the closing remarks, like, I feel it. We gonna find out what happens with this Super Bowl. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please like, subscribe, comment, tell anyone who's anyone about the show. My name is Trey. I'm the host of Get a Bucket. Fellas, I greatly appreciate y'all for coming on. We're gonna do this again. And like I said, hope y'all have a good one. Take care.
Oh, I did not know you guys were still here. As you can see, we're at the back end of the show. No pun intended, but look, hope you all enjoyed it. And before you go, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow the IG account, share the content to anybody who's anybody. And most importantly, leave your thoughts and comments below. But I got to go back and play Buddy in 2K, so let me unmute him real quick. Excuse me. Hey, boss, I'm back. Nah, you better catch this word. You know we get buckets around here, too.